Hello, Congresswoman Noem. My name is Chad Bishop. I'm an Aberdeen native. South Dakota School of Mines grad, 1997 in computer engineering. Currently a Rapid City resident. My first question is concerning the debt ceiling and what concessions were gained by a Republican-controlled House to allow this insanity to continue.
You mean as far as why was it agreed to?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that decision on the Budget Control Act that did pass through the House and the Senate, the President did sign, raised the debt ceiling with some conditions upon it. It put spending caps into place for the future so that we could control our spending. It forced a vote on the House and the Senate floors, which we haven't had for a very long time, to make sure that we had a balanced budget amendment that would be voted on. I really truly believe in my heart of hearts that when that vote came up, what happens when you shut down the government is that you have men and women who are at war who aren't going to be paid. That you have the potential for people who are receiving Social Security for not getting their checks. And that is the concern that I had. For me, and part of that agreement was that in response with that, it was going to cut $1.2 trillion. And so I knew that this whole mess was started and created before I ever got to Washington, D.C. And when I got there, I was responsible for trying to find a way to clean it up. And that was the thing, is what is the most responsible but best way to quickly get our country back on track. And it was with cutting our spending dramatically, with making sure that spending wasn't going to get out of control in the future, and by really supporting a balanced budget amendment, which was going to force a vote as well on that issue. So we truly could see who sits in Washington, D.C. right now and supports balancing a budget, and who doesn't. With that vote, then we truly do know.
That 1.2 trillion, over what period of time is that?
Over 10 years. Yeah, over 10 years in the future.
What?
Well, our current debt right now is approaching 16 trillion.
Deficit.
Well, it's over $1 trillion. Under this administration, we've had an over $1 trillion deficit every single year of this administration. And the projected one for the next year is over $1 trillion as well.
What was the deficit at the end of the Bush administration?
Oh, goodness. I'd have to look, but you have to remember that at the end of the Bush administration, the last 2 years, it was a Democrat-controlled House and Senate as well.
And required his signature?
I think it did require his signature to finally get it done, but there had to be agreement by the two bodies as well. Yeah.
Thank you.